Very good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much, organizers, for giving me this opportunity. And now, without any delay, I'm going to start my paper. Title is told already, that is Absurdity, Uncertainty, and Meaninglessness in the Plays of Samuel Beckett and Aristotelian Analysis. So, among the 20th century playwrights influenced by surrealism and other movements, Beckett emerges as most remarkable for his experiments in theatre. His unique way of handling language and uh, you know um, extraterritorial components to provide new dimension to the theatre, they are fascinating. Human existence is cardiovascular feature of Beckett's corpora, and if existence is mystery, I quote, then art seeks to unveil this mystery existentially and more so to know the hidden meaning, if any, behind the chaotic phenomena. But in spite of unveiling this mystery and the meaning behind the chaotic phenomena, Beckett portrays this mystery and chaos in his works in the form of absurdity, uncertainty, and meaninglessness, which is visible at thematic as well as linguistic level. The present paper discusses these thrust areas of Beckett's corpora at the thematic level only. They have been analyzed with reference to Aristotle's concept of tragedy, where he defines tragedy as an imitation of action and divides it into six parts: plot, character, thought, song, diction, and spectacle. This paper analyzes plot, character, songs, and spectacle, leading to the conclusion that they are absurd and meaningless. Plot. Among the six elements, Aristotle gives the most weightage to plot, which he defines like the combination of the incidents or things done in the story. He puts even the characters next to plot who imitate the action. He says in painting, the colors are like characters and the object drawn is action. Even the most beautiful colors laid on without order will not be as beautiful or charming or won't give the same pleasure as a simple black and white sketch of an object. According to Aristotle, a plot must have three things. The first one, he says that it must have a beginning, a middle, and an end. A well-constructed plot, therefore, cannot either begin or end at any point. Second trait which he talks about is that it must be of a certain definite magnitude. That is, it must not be so long that as readers we cannot memorize the incidents, and it should not be so short also that it cannot do justification to the events. Third, that all the events in the plot, they should be nicely integrated and connected to each other, that the disposal of a single one is going to affect the plot as a whole. Generally speaking, Becker's plays do not have these characteristics of plot. They do not have any beginning, middle, and end. As Waiting for Godot, Endgame, Embers, Verse and Music end from where they start. They are like a dot, not like a line, which can be divided into beginning, middle, and end. In Waiting for Godot, the play starts with two tramps waiting for Godot, nothing happens, and the play ends with the tramps waiting for Godot on that single road. In Endgame, Chloe is serving Ham and his parents, and again, in absence of action, play ends with Chloe standing at the gate. Amber starts and ends with Henry sitting at a sea coast talking to his wife, who is probably dead.
Hello.
In Words and
Yeah,
Music,
yeah, yeah.
Krog commands
In
words and
between, I
music
again
until
lost
the
my
end he follows it.
electricity. That was what
Crab's
happened. Now
last
it's
step
fine.
also has
Now it's fine.
one
Now it's
thing.
fine.
Crab's
Okay,
listening to
thank
his
you. Yeah,
earlier birthday
thank you.
recordings on his tape recorder. Happy Days has nothing except the blah blah of Winnie, who is buried to her waist and later on to her neck. So these plays have only one thing, either beginning or middle or end. Now it's up to the readers how do they take it. Some critics they say that it is a middle. Like S.L. Paul says, I quote, the existential drama has only a middle, for example, Samuel Beckett's Waiting for Godot. All that told, that can be taken as an exception because it might be having a middle and end. Is the middle that on her way to the railway station to pick up her husband, Mrs. Rooney meets some people and talks to them. In the end, she reaches railway station, meets her husband, and both together move to their home. So this was the first trait of plot as per Aristotle, which is not there in Beckett's plays. The second one is also not fulfilled, which is a certain magnitude. Now, the question how long a play can be, which has only one thing, either a middle or a beginning or an end. Last thing, that all its incidents must be of some importance and closely connected to each other. One can remove any incident without affecting the play from Beckett's plays. So, in short, we can say that none of Beckett's plays has a well knitted plot. Characters, second one. According to Aristotle, character is what makes us ascribe certain moral qualities to the agents. He mentions 4 points to aim at a character. He shall be good, he should be appropriate, real, and consistent and same throughout. Now, again, if one follows Aristotle's definition, he finds that Beckett's plays are characterless because Beckettian characters are just the agents as they do not reveal any morals. But they are appropriate for the themes chosen by Beckett. They are absurd, they are uncertain, and whatever is uttered by them, that is meaningless. They have clone-like clothes, and their actions are senseless. Most of them behave like the sufferers of schizophrenia, a kind of mental retardedness. The term schizophrenia was introduced by Paul Eugene Bleuler, the eminent Swiss psychiatrist. Schizophrenic patients are sometimes disoriented. They may be confused and not know who and where they are. Suddenly, all seems strange, unknown, and unreal to them. Almost all Beckett's characters they behave like schizophrenics and live in a confused state. The two tramps, Vladimir and Estragon, are uncertain whether Godot will come, whether they have an appointment with him, whether they have come to the right place and on right time, and if Godot comes, whether he will do something for them, whether the boots in the second act are of Estragon. Everything is uncertain. In the play Rough for Radio 1 also, nothing is clear who the characters he and she are, what is their relation, and who is they are constantly talking about. In Rough for Radio 2 also, the character has not been made clear and not the story about Maud. We don't know who Maud is and what is Maud's relation with the main character. The same way, Willie's bleeding head also wants clarification. How did he get injured? Whether it was by Winnie's hitting him with the parasol or was he got hurt by breaking bottle. Willie's reading newspaper and other activities also mystify the atmosphere because of his invisible hands. Like the catatonic schizophrenic people, the characters act withdrawn. They speak little or are muted or silent most of the time. They do not show any interest in other sayings and their surroundings. They are cut off from society and outer world. And like hebephrenic schizophrenic people, they are characterized by grossly disordered thinking and emotions and motor behavior. They mostly utter word salads. Their emotions are not stable. They are violent, then they are calm. They laugh suddenly and then become silent. They suffer from disordered thinking. In Henry's case, in Embers, hallucination finds an expression in his talking to his dead father and wife. Because many characters like Estragon, Lucky, Ham, Nag, and Nell, they have dependent personality because they depend on other people for their simple needs also and can't make decisions. Vladimir and Estragon, they also suffer from a personality disorder that is avoidant personality. Kurt Haas has defined it like people who are evasive and fail to face challenge are called avoidant. Instead of coping with problems, they rationalize, overlook, turn away, or use any number of other intellectual or behavioral defensive strategies. So Vladimir and Estragon, they also turn their eyes away from reality. They do not want to face the challenges of life, so surrender to some unseen, unknown force called Godot. Every time they say we are waiting for Godot, their avoidant personality is exhibited. The characters also suffer from distracted memory, and because of this, everything about their life that remains in dark. We don't know about their locale, their past, their life, their motives, their incentives, and uncertainty about everything generates meaninglessness because, as Martin Esslin says, where there is no certainty, there can be no definite meanings, and the impossibility of ever attaining certainty is one of the main themes of Beckett's plays. Third, song. One of the six elements of a play stated by Aristotle is song, but he does not say much about it. He only argues that the song should be fully integrated into the play like an actor and should contribute to the unity of the plot. In classical plays, songs are musical and meaningful. They are introduced in the plays to serve as entertaining factors and to comment on the content and characters of the play. They also create an atmosphere suitable to the context of the play. For example, in The Tempest, Ariel's song serves as a soothing pill to Ferdinand, who is overpowered by the grief of his father. In the same way, T.S. Eliot's Murder in the Cathedral starts with a chorus singing the song, which tells us many things about the plot and about the action of the play. Again, if we look at Beckett's plays, we find that they are absurd, and they do not do justice to the expectations of a song, because they are completely contrary. They are not mild, they are not soft, they are not well written, but they are functional and they serve the desired purpose also. As absurdity, uncertainty, and meaninglessness are the themes, the songs employed by the playwright express the same effectively and emphatically. For instance, in Waiting for Godot, Vladimir sings a song to make Estragon sleep. But as expected from a lullaby, it is not soft, mild, and meaningful. He starts it in a loud voice. So after Estragon sings, he makes it soft, but its words are just an epigenesis of a single word bye. That is the lullaby he sings for him. Vladimir's dog song is also absurd, far away from the expectations of a song. A song should have some relevance with reference to the context. Something picked up at random and sung cannot, would be absurd. In this privileged so-called song, Vladimir talks of a dog's death, which is suitable to Beckett's plays. Such trivial and improbable incidents support in heightening the impact of absurdity. The death song in the background of all that fall creates an atmosphere suitable to Beckett's plays. The song with the sound of Mrs. Rooney's dragging feet creates a picture of painful life which ends with death. Word song in verse and music, in its words, all dark, no sense, accompanies the theme of absurdity. Without punctuation marks, it seems a word salad. So to conclude song, one can say that though songs in Beckett's plays are absurd as they are not musical, not meaningful, not well composed or well written, but still they are good vehicles on the content in the hands of Beckett. They are apt for the absurd atmosphere of his plays. They speak of the character's psyche, which is obsessed with death, decay, meaninglessness, and absurdity. Spectacle. The word spectacle is derived from the Latin verb spectere, which means to look. According to Aristotle, spectacle covers everything which is visible to the eyes on the theater. It covers the costumes, the gestures, body movements, and even the voice modulation of the actors. Artaud mentions that, I quote him, the stage is a tangible physical place that needs to be filled and ought to be allowed to speak its own concrete language. Here also, stage narrates its high-sounding words that absurdity, uncertainty, and meaninglessness. The scenes on the stage are either of rooms with bare interiors, of seashore, of some street corner, of an isolated mound, or of an unknown country road. Such scenes create uncertainty about the locale. We can't really locate them, which this place is. The clownish costumes of the characters add to the absurdity of human life. Their gestures and movements, they amuse readers, but at the root, they reserve a life soaked in desolation, dullness, exhaustion, and ennui. Beckett also makes use of cacophonous sounds in the background to convey the chaos and absurdity prevailing in human life in an emphatic manner. So, to conclude, I can say that songs, plot, character, songs, and spectacle, if they are discussed from Aristotelian point of view, then all the plays of Samuel Beckett, they don't have all these traits, rather, they are absurd and meaningless, but they also serve as a very important vehicle in the hands of Samuel Beckett to bring home his thematic uh, aspects. Thank you so much.